Good afternoon, everyone. Today is the 23rd of April, 2024. And as I promised we're going to do, although it's a couple of days later than I promised, I've been doing some housework if you've seen some other videos. Welcome to Woja Mojo. I'm going to be making that Carnivore Flatbread that I promised, the one I botched up trying to do my last presentation where I ended up making the pizza. This one, I'm just going to make the Carnivore Flatbread. Okay? So, what you're going to need is an oven. I would suggest heating that up, preheating that to 450 degrees. 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything else would be frickin' insane, except for Kelvin. That might be a little bit cooler. I don't have a 10-inch pizza pan like I was trying to find. I have this 12-inch pan, the one I used before, which is going to be fine. I'm just going to watch it. It's baked for 25 minutes, but we're going to probably bake it for realistically about 15 minutes. I will let you know what that comes out to be. All right. Now, some other utensils you're going to need. A mixing bowl. And a wicked cool rubber thing. Or something to mix it with, but this is also going to just help me scoop it out into the pizza pan. You're going to need 3 large eggs right here. Yours will probably come in shells. Anyway, just figured a little quicker to pre-crack them. You're going to need 3 large eggs, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella. All right, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella. And you're going to need 3/4 cup of whole fat Greek yogurt. That's whole fat Greek yogurt, okay? So, that's all you need. Now let's watch how quick this is. The longest thing it's going to take is my gabbing here, my bloviating, and bacon. Alrighty, this is the special magical trick to all this stuff. Pay attention, if you can afford to. Times are tight these days. But anyway, in fact, I have so few viewers on this frickin' YouTube thing, I have to pay YouTube money. That wasn't even funny. But that's okay. So we got the whole fat Greek yogurt. Unflavored, by the way. Don't get one with flavor in it. You don't want sugar and stuff. This is a carnivore diet flatbread. It's strictly carnivore, all right? So if you're on a carnivore diet or keto diet or any, even if you're not on a diet and you want to make a quick little deal that you can serve up and wrap up and act like you have skills in the kitchen, this is a good way to do it. And if you're trying to lose a little weight and you don't know other ways to do it, but you're a big, bread eater or what have you, then this is a quick little go around, all right? Now I'm just mixing this up, breaking the yolks up, and then just giving it a good mix. I want to get it as thoroughly mixed as possible. The shredded mozzarella cheese is. I'm not moving this camera around and putting the face. You know what smooth looks like. But the shredded mozzarella cheese is not going to be smooth. Obviously, it's still going to be in its shredded consistency, mixed in with everything. So it's going to look like a batter, a very wet batter, with some mozzarella cheese stringy texture to it, alrighty? And you will see the texture to it. This is it. I am done mixing this. You're going to see the texture when I pour this in the pan, alrighty? Now you don't have to go too fancy, As you can see, it's just spreading out right in front of me, like your mom. And we'll just get this all squared away. I'm using a non-stick cookie sheet, pizza sheet, whatever you want to call it, pizza pan. Trick is maybe let it cool down a little bit before you pour it out. And I just give it a little shake like that, you know, like I'm panning for gold. That be all, folks. Now we take this wonderful concoction, this culinary concoction. We put our other stuff aside. Oh, if you wanted to or whatever, you know, you could sprinkle a little, but I'm keeping this strict carnivore, but if I wanted to give it a little bit of a flavor, and I don't even know if this would break the diet, if I was to sprinkle very lightly some garlic powder or onion powder, but it does have flavor in its own, or a little bit of even garlic salt or onion salt or something. I wouldn't put anything else on that. In fact, no need to put anything on it. So I'm just going to put this right into the oven. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. I'll see you in about 15 minutes, alrighty? Thank you very much for being here with me, and I will be back in a minute. I'm going to walk around and hit pause because my freaking camera thing sucks. Alrighty, folks. Things are starting to come along pretty well. It's got just a couple of minutes left. As this is cooking, if you keep your light on in your oven, hopefully you have a window. Anyway, and you can even do this in a toaster oven if you have a large enough one. But it's going to bubble up, you know, get all those like kind of pizza dough type of bubbles popping up into it, lumping up, air bubbles. And as the tops of those bubbles start to turn a little brown, starting to get a little crisp, it'll do that at the tops of the bubbles, not in the valleys in between. You know it's getting just about ready. So I think 15 minutes for this is just perfect for this size pan. I'm not much above sea level. I am in New Hampshire, but I'm in the low-lying lands in the Merrimack Valley, so I'm not too high up. This is kind of like representative of the elevation of most of the U.S. If you're in the Rockies, you got to figure out your own stuff. So anyway, and it smells like pizza crust in here. It doesn't smell like something funky. It doesn't smell like mozzarella cheese or scrambled eggs or like a vat of sour yogurt or something, you know. So it's just it is just a very simple recipe. 15 minutes. It's not even a 25-minute bake time. If I had a smaller baking sheet, it might take a little bit longer because it would be a little bit thicker. But for a flatbread, this 12-inch pan works out very well. I would suggest letting it cool before making a pizza or something else on it, you know, before removing it from the pan to do that. As you'll see when I pull it out, and I'll show you as I kind of tear some pieces off or cut some pieces off. Not good to use metal on a non-stick pan, so if I do decide to slice it, I'll do it very carefully. If you have a plastic pizza slicer, I know they make those, so you could use something like that. Either that or just take it out and put it on something like the cutting board of death here. All right, so anywho, it's just about ready to come out. I'm going to let it beep, and I'm going to try to pull this out fast enough that you can see the bubbles that I'm talking about. With that, if I start moving my camera around, it's going to look like crap because, again, I'm a total hack. I'm no pro at this YouTube stuff. Just kind of kind of occupies a little bit of my time with things. It doesn't even occupy any of my time. It just it's things I'm doing anyway, and this is something I kind of always wanted to do, but I'm just kind of rolling into this slow. So some of my videos, if you see other videos on the Woja Mojo channel and you think they suck, that's okay, you know. Tell me, you know, tell me how bad they are. Tell me how good they are. I don't care. Tell me if you know, if you have any questions, just ask too. That's totally fine. Alrighty. The reason why I do the carnivore stuff primarily, not always. I'm going to show you how to make some other things. But I primarily do the carnivore types of events because I eat carnivore. I'm very, you know, trim because of that. I lost 25 pounds. I've said this before. I'm not seeming to lose any more than 25 pounds. I think I'm at my optimum weight. I haven't done any exercise at all to lose this. I had a good frame, good genes, you know, but also I worked some bull work for a lot of my life as well. Although I've been doing desk jobs for, you know, desk work for a while now. I got to start getting some. Oh, here we go. All right. You see the bubbles? Look at the bubbles. See the bubbles? See how it's slightly crisp on the top? These bubbles will go down just like on a pizza dough or something. They'll just kind of subside as we chit-chat. Don't forget your oven mitts. I forgot one time, and thank goodness to the amount of work I've done. My hands are a little, skin on my hands are a little bit, you know, leathery. So, and it still freaking hurt. I wept gently to myself. But yeah, this YouTube stuff, I just kind of do it because I'm going to be doing things anyway. I might as well show you some things I've learned since being on doing the carnivore thing. And I was pretty impressed with recipes people show up with. And you'll see other ones, you know, you might even see the same recipe somewhere. So anyway, this is the Carnivore Flatbread. Alrighty? It's still freaking hot, but a little less freaking hot. So that's what it looks like. It smells like a pizza dough. It's, you know, like a pizza crust, kind of, you know? It's no yeast in it or anything like that. It's so cool. And I always, once I saw that, I made a couple, and then I figured, man, I can show this. All right. Hopefully these videos aren't too freaking boring. What I am going to do is, I did this on the last video. I went to pull it off a little too early. It was still too hot. But I did want to show you what this thing looked like. Look at my Punky Brewster. I got different colored freaking mitts for everything. Okay. Oh, it smells good. Still cooling down in the center a little bit, so I'm going to let that do that for a second. And then I'll pull this thing out. I'm hoping this tile kind of eats up some heat, like a heat sink, to some extent. Anyway, on the countertop. I should redo this countertop. I had a friend of mine do it. He was in a sad state at the time. You know, he was, actually very sad at the time, but he still did a fantastic job. But I've seen different things afterwards, different ideas, and I think I might redo this countertop. So, alrighty. Okay, so here we go. This is going to work out well. So what I should have taken it out the last time before I made the pizza. But voila, look at that, right? Mozzarella has a little bit of its own oils in it, okay? Some fat in there, right? So that kind of slicks the pan up too. However, I am using a nonstick. If I was using a regular, I don't even know if they make nonstick. Not nonstick anymore, I should say. Like the old pans we used to have that were, you have to sand the rust off of them, for crying out loud, if you didn't pay attention. But anywho, this flatbread, right? The bottom gets like a golden brown. It's not, don't worry, it's not burnt. It's not going to taste burnt. The top is like this. You can see how flexible it is too. As it cools, it still maintains all its flexibility. Probably a little bit more rigidity, used to it. So, anywho, without putting anything on it, it's just a cool little bread, right? And I'm gonna tear it actually, so you can see how bread-like it is. All right. I don't know if you can catch a look at that. Hopefully my camera's focusing. I'll tear a piece off. See how it tears? It's just like bread, just like a flatbread. All right. Tastes like a flatbread, a little bit saltier because of the salt that's in the mozzarella, right? But not much. I mean, very faint. This is perfect for making a carnivore or a keto pizza if you were to use any type of sauce. And any sauce you use, probably best to use the least amount of sugar. But if you wanted to use an alternative sweetener, don't use any of that regular junk that's on the market. I would stick with stevia. All right. Stevia is 100% carnivore. It's very sweet, so you have to, and also monk. I want to say monk fruit, right? Sweetener. It's very sweet, but so you just use much less of it. But if you were to put a little bit into some tomato sauce and maybe a little bit of oregano or what have you, again, that avoids adding the sugar. Tomato sauce is already going to have a natural amount of sugar to it, but it just keeps the sugar out of your diet. It's not leaving a residual false sweetener in your system either that your body can't process. It's not going to spike your what do you call it now? Anywho, whatever. So you're gonna, it's not gonna throw your system off on the inside, and then you're just gonna be able to enjoy a pizza that tastes like a pizza. Put your cheeses. Most cheeses are good to go. Try to stick with the hard cheeses like Parmesan and stuff. Mozzarella's fine. I know it's a soft cheese, but it's fine. And there's a few, several other hard cheeses you could use as a blend. So you could do a little pizza sauce, throw a little of your cheese blend on top of there, throw whatever. Sardines are great. Don't get them in oil, but sardines are like super, super healthy for you. If you get them in oil, it's not fish oil, it's vegetable oil that they put that in. Same for tuna fish. You can eat tuna fish, just get the tuna fish in water. And one of the best things you can get, besides sardines, is salmon. And if you were to do canned salmon, you can get, if you buy it fresh salmon, it's hard to get wild caught, all right? So it's super expensive. The fresh salmon is usually grown in a pen, whether in the ocean or not, and it's fed a bunch of crap, and you don't want that in your system. But the canned salmon by like StarKist and other brands, Bumblebee, what have you, and it says right on the can, and it's highly regulated. It's wild caught, and you want the whole salmon, skin on, everything. You want all that fat, right? So you can mix that. You could piece that up and put it on top. You could put certain types of hard meats, like salami and pastrami, pepperoni. But just look at the ingredients. You usually got to buy the higher quality ones to make sure they don't put certain things in there, like vegetable oil or soy or sugars. Okay, so but if you don't have to thick cut them, you just thin slice them for the pizza and what have you. Right? So these are just ideas. This again, Carnivore Flatbread. It's good. You can serve that up as a little something to go with a larger meal, of course, a side or what have you. And I'm gonna find some other recipes too, and I'll bring them to you. And hopefully they'll work out well on your palate. Again, this is just an alternative if you're I just want to lose some weight. I want to cut some carbs out. Maybe you don't want to cut all carbs out, but you want some options. Right there, little things like that, anything you can do to interrupt that sad diet, the standard American diet. All right, that's sad. All right, we don't eat healthy here. Our kids don't get to eat too healthy either. So, especially if they're eating at school or something like that. So just do the best you can. This is very cheap, very easy to make, and you saw how quick it was. Very, very quick and easy. Not expensive at all. And really, I don't regret a single moment of being on this type of diet. I don't regret it. It's not a temporary thing for me. It's a lifestyle. All right. But anyway, here's my presentation. I love you all. Be good to yourselves, and please like and subscribe to Woja Mojo. And if you have any comments, please send them in there. Alrighty. Have a wonderful day. God bless.